Hey, y'all. Ernie Johnson, Kenny Smith, Shaquille O'Neal. You're watching the NBA on 2K Sports. Our coverage tonight from Target Center as the Minnesota Timberwolves will be playing against the San Antonio Spurs. Well, for San Antonio, 6 wins in their last 10 games. They'd like to play even better. Tonight, a chance to add to their win total. And for Karl Anthony Towns, just last season, GMs voted him the player they'd most like to build a team around. Shaq, I can't think of higher praise than that.
That's because Big Cats is a perfect example of the modern-day center. Can do it all, Ernie, on both ends of the floor.
I really like his game, too.
I agree. He's a terrific scorer on 3 levels, and that's pretty impressive. He can do it on the box, the mid-range, and the 3-ball, Ernie.
Yes, he
has
can.
a lot of years left in him. He can make a big impact. I probably would want to start a team with him as well.
Kevin Harlan will have the call. Game's about to start. We'll see y'all later.
Clouds passing high over the 10th Avenue Bridge and the Mississippi River here in Minneapolis. A gorgeous scene. Home court belongs to the Timberwolves in this one as we bring you a Western Conference matchup here live from the Target Center in Minneapolis. Joined by Greg Anthony, Steve Smith, and Hall of Famer David Aldridge, I'm Kevin Harlan, gracing our presence tonight, one of the all-time NBA great players, Kevin Garnett. Boy, is it good to have you here, KG.
Man, great to see you, though, man. How you been, man?
I don't know, it feels like we've done about 10 games together already.
It does feel like that. It's always great to see you,
Good
though, man.
seeing you, too. You look terrific.
Man.
Spurs would love to finish off this road trip on a good note. They've been playing very well lately. It's been 4 wins for them in their last 5 games.
And they can put themselves into a great position in the season series by winning tonight. They've won the first one, 2 to go after this, so they'd be assured of at least a split.
Any win is important, especially when it's against a team in your conference. You know they want to win this one badly.
And we've got time for a quick pregame report. With that being said, let's head to the sideline and our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge. D.A.?
Well, good evening, guys. Now, the Timberwolves are building something here. Now, forward Taj Gibson said, we've got a great group that understands the importance of work. And Tom Thibodeau added, you're seeing a lot of guys sacrifice for the team. In order to win, that's what you have to do. Kevin?
They're establishing a great culture, D.A. Thank you. Kevin, your drive and attention to detail were phenomenal. How do you deal with rookies who were largely uninformed? They were maybe not as receptive to the attention to detail that the elite like you pursued.
Well, one of the things I would do if I saw a guy who wasn't as keen to detail as I was, I would pull him to the side. I would show him, some of the things I would see. I would get, some dialogue with him and what he was seeing, and then try to get him to see what I was seeing as far as the point I was making. And then, challenge him a little bit to be a little more present within certain things and then apply it. I don't believe in shouting. I don't believe in embarrassing someone. I like to always, grab some of the young guys because the young guys don't have all the confidence yet. So I'm trying to build confidence with the young guys.
Good point.
So
Good
when,
point.
when you get them one-on-one, you're able to, have an intimate conversation, and then you have full, they're engaged, they're talking to you.
Yes.
And that's what you want. So, with that, I'm
No, he didn't. And guys, that's not as easy as he made it look. You've got to have some skills to pull that off.
Well, he's got plenty of those, that's for sure. To the inside, Gibson with the steal. Gay against Covington. The pass to Gibson, and stolen by Aldridge. Gay against Covington, and it's out of bounds. The Spurs able to retain possession here. And Kevin, when you look at Towns, is he as close to you in terms of what you were as any player you've seen maybe since you've been in the league? And young guy who plays the same position?
Cat is his own thing. I like to think that he has a little bit of me in him. He has a little bit of Chris Bosh in him. He has a little bit of Webb in him. I like to think that he has some Tim Duncan in him because he used the glass. He used his left. He'll slip under. He'll go under you. He's crafty. He shoots the 3 like Rasheed. Like he can put the ball on the floor like a guard. Like when you look at his makeup, man, he's trying to morph. Just think about what he's doing. He's at the 5. Really, I call him a 4, but he's at the 5 doing this. him and Embiid, him and Porzingis, all these guys are morphing the center and power forward position.
It's amazing to watch.
Listen,
it's
man,
evolving right before our eyes.
It is, man,
these kids.
and it's greatness, and I'm glad I got a front row seat, and I'm glad I got a super intimate relationship with my dude to be able to see the DNA to carry this on, man. This is great, man. He catch the future, bro. He's the future. Nothing better than that.
6 to shoot. Here's Aldridge. Good, and the assist goes to Gasol.
Almost automatic from there. Aldridge using his length to full advantage inside.
Teague deciding where to go with it. Kicks it to Gibson. And the call will be against LaMarcus Aldridge. That's his first foul. And Kevin, you think about the importance of veteran mentorship for young players looking back. Who provided that mentorship for you?
Sam Mitchell, Terry Porter, shout to Doug West, shout to J.R. Ryder, shout to Christian Laettner. All these were my vets, both good and bad. I'm learning something from all these guys. Shout to Kevin McHale, shout to rest in peace to the great Flip Saunders. These are all my vets who helped me progress as a guy and as a player. More importantly, took me under their wing, taught me finances, taught me about life, taught me how to be a young man, taught me about being professional, learning this book of business when it came to basketball, because when it comes to lockouts and all that stuff, when you have to be able to talk and negotiate your own stuff, you got to know the rules and know what it is. A lot of people don't know that the league is 2/3 of council, and you got to stay above that and understand how this whole monster works. And then if you want to be an elite, you got to dedicate yourself in the gym. You got to dedicate yourself in the business. If you're trying to be a brand of something, you have to do all these things. When you look at Jordan, when you look at Kobe, you look at these brands out here, these, LeBron has a brand, KD has a brand. You have to invest in yourself to be able to, grow this. This is the elite. I'm not talking about average. I'm not talking about good. I'm not talking about great. This is the elite. These are people that's going to be on and people that you're going to remember, for years to come.
Sounds like a lot. Sounds like a lot on the plate, though.
True legendary.
And, Kevin, you think about some of your toughest matchups. What about Shaquille O'Neal? What was it like defending Big Shaq?
You know what, man? Shaq, later on in our years, I had to guard him later, man. I told y'all, man. I guarded Shaq one time in the Cleveland series, and it was like holding up the side of a house. Seriously. Listen, I want y'all to go home and do this. I know I usually use food, right?
Yeah, right.
We're going to use materials in houses today, okay? I want you to go home, tell your wife, your girlfriend to ignore you. Cut out the side of your house. Go get your homeboy, have him help you. After he cuts the side of it, I want you to hold up the side of the house with your forearm for the whole 24 hours.
Oh,
matter of fact, let's just do 2 hours.
Okay, all right, 2
hours. I don't want to break your arm.
Okay, yeah.
After 2 hours, you're going to push the house back, reseal it with some glue or whatever, right? Not my problem. That's how your arm feels, guarding Shaq.
Really?
I couldn't even wave at people right-handed for a whole day.
You had to wave left-handed?
I had to wave left-handed. And people know me. I'm all right-handed. I'm all, nothing left-handed. I throw my hand over
there. That is a big drink of water.
Listen, man, listen. I have so much respect for all the centers that have guarded Shaq. Seriously, rest in peace to all the centers. Shaq is
exhausting,
destroyed.
Huh? Exhausting.
Shaq is like the side of your house. For all y'all wondering what it's like, and all y'all want some of the diesel, what it's like to guard the diesel, go out and try to hold up your house. The diesel. Shout to the diesel.
It's rebounded by Towns.
Boy, he blew an easy layup, and he is furious with himself.
Covington kicks to Teague. Pass to Gibson. Back to Teague. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line.
A moment here to see some stats for Gasol. Some nice work from him over the last 10 games. Putting up about 10 points a night, 8 rebounds, and 2 assists. And what sets him apart is his rebounding. And as you can see, he's been in peak form.
You know what? It's part effort, part instincts. You see teams trying to keep a body or two on him, but that's easier said than done.
Free throw good, Teague.
And as you would expect from the way he plays, Teague is a terrific free throw shooter.
So San Antonio goes with a fresh 5 on the floor. And that's good as he hits both of his shots. And, Kev, in your time with the Celtics, you had the big three. Big four, even when you consider Rajon Rondo. There had to be a leader. I know you guys all deferred to Paul because he was there.
Yeah. But just think about it, though. We all shared in different types of leadership. Paul Pierce was a great leader in all that what you possess. I was more vocal and more energetic. Ray was more wise and more of a wording and understanding of concept and what we were all there for, and constant reminding, not to say that you didn't have some young ones buck back or whatever. It's part of it. In that whole thing, we're all learning something. We're all adjoining. We're all syncing each other, good and bad. We're learning how to talk through things. Things that, you use in your everyday life. Things that we use in our locker room, we were able to take out of our own and use in our everyday life and communicate better and not be frustrated and let you go and hear your point and then hear it from your side. A lot of good points in what we did, man. Seriously.
Life things, too.
True growth. True growth when you really think about it, True growth. Real
Amazing.
time.
And that's from beyond, guys, right back at you.
This is looking more like an all-star game right now. Everyone launching from range.
Jang with the ball. Now guarded by Pirtle. Jang inside. From deep, Rose. A rebound by the Spurs. This game coming on the heels of their win against Chicago.
I mean, they were so impressive offensively, and when you do that, that can really help you on the road.
It's one thing to play inspired defense in that situation, but to get in that kind of offensive rhythm away from home, phenomenal.
Aston Nunley. Teague finds Rose. From deep three-point range, and so the first quarter is in the books. Minnesota on top. They're up by 4. After this break, we'll be back with the start of the second quarter on 2K Sports. The former #1 pick overall in 2015, Karl Anthony Towns, spoke about the aspirations of this team.
Every single day we're thinking about how can we be the team that we need to be to not only make the playoffs, but to make it deep into the playoffs and give ourselves a chance of being a championship team. We have so much talent. We have great veterans. We have a great front office, a great coaching staff. So with all that on our side, we feel we have a great chance to find that way to success.
One step at a time, Greg. That's the mindset to have.
Yeah, you can't have too much too early. But with Towns leading the charge, this team is in great hands.
And if you're just joining us, we've played through one quarter in this one. And let's quickly break down the game we're watching with the Timberwolves, guys.
I mean, through one, you have to like the effort, especially on that defensive end.
There are several ways, as you know, to take control of a game. Getting stops is one of them.
On the court for San Antonio here in the second. They've got Bellinelli, and it's Bertans in at the 4-man position. Kevin, it's not enough that you've got to manage a career which demands so much time and so much your mental and physical being. But then managing a marriage, having a family while you're playing, that's a balancing act that not a lot of guys can pull off, but you have.
No, you have a professional life and then you have a personal life. I like to think that basketball is obviously my profession. I love to play. It has a business component to it that you got to obviously get some attention to. But then, when it comes to being personal, your family, your friends, you have to separate the two. I would learn very early in my early career that never bring basketball home, leave it on the court. One of the things I struggled with was losing and being able to leave it on the court.
That would have been tough for you in particular.
No, I'm just telling you, my first 5-6 years, I can honestly say, I've lost relationships, and the fact that I couldn't leave certain things on the floor.
Right.
I wasn't really good with that as a young man, and it cost me some cool relationships. But I like to think that I learned from that. I like to think that I've applied the things that I've learned, and I was able to separate the two, which is very important. Yes. Got to have a distinction between the two.
Jones, no luck.
And this is a guy that can get you stops, aggressive on the defensive end.
Also doing a good job of tracking the ball, contesting the mid-range jumper as well.
Rose against Walker. Back to Bellinelli. Lets it go from the wing. And that one goes long. And it's Jones with the ball for Minnesota, leading by 5. And, Kevin, to see you come in straight out of high school into the NBA, you forget that it was so historic because we had not seen a high school player in such a long time.
Right. Yeah, at that time, you know, it was 20 years before anybody had ever thought of the idea. I figured that I had the work ethic and the passion and the appetite for it. And I never looked back. I never second-guessed my decision. And when I did second-guess myself, I got in the gym and changed it.
Greatest picks in the history of the draft. And the Timberwolves making a change here. Towns is checked in. Spurs also with the sub. DeRozan's checked in. Tolliver, no luck.
You know, with that much room, you don't lay it up. You throw it down like you've been disrespected.
The shot's good from Forbes.
That's the kind of D that you're not going to find success with, guys. They've got to get a hand in the face.
Jones kicks to Towns. Tolliver the pass to Towns. It doesn't go for him. And the Spurs going the other way now. Last time they met was in San Antonio.
Yeah, and last time they faced off, really an easy win. They put together a pretty complete game, but their edge on the glass, for me, still stands out.
Anytime you can seize control of the rebounding advantage, you are in great shape to win any game in this league. Keep your head on a swivel with DeRozan on the floor. He'll finish way up top with an alley-oop.
And that unleashed chaos replay presented by Under Armour. Hover had it, giving us a chance to relive that exciting play.
Yeah, another missed opportunity, and you can just see the frustration.
He wants to help his team, but when you're in position to finish, it's hard to turn that down.
Kev, talk about the characteristics needed to be a winner in this league.
Appetite. How much do you want this? Can you push through that pain right there? Or are you going to dive on the floor? Are you going to do the small things? You know, are you going to double down? Are you going to be in the spot where you're supposed to when you're supposed to be there? You know my bads. You know, all this goes into winning. And then you need a little luck. You do. And you need an appetite. You need 15 guys that's willing to push through anything at any moment. That's the difficult part of winning.
On the same page.
On the same page, all 15 thinking the same thing.
It sounds daunting.
Listen, people think that, oh, man, why can't you have 15? Because it's 15 guys thinking 15 totally different things. And that's the difficult part of being a coach. That's what I'm saying. Being a coach is one of the hardest things to be because you got to take 15 perspectives and get them all on one and then go forward with the same velocity like you want it to. It's frustrating.
Here's what Minnesota's going with right now. Taj Gibson's checked in for Jay. Robert Covington comes in for Anthony Tolliver. And Wiggins is subbed in for Tyus Jones. DeRozan gets the bucket.
Well, that is one situation that DeRozan is huge for. He can bail out a team with the shot clock ticking down.
Rose kicks to Wiggins. "11 feet away." Count that one. Wiggins has got the game tied up here for the Timberwolves.
He has a very well-rounded offensive game. There's just no shortage of ways Wiggins has to punish an opponent, inside, outside, or otherwise.
White with it, and Rose picks him up defensively. Lets it fly. Another one falls for San Antonio.
It's amazing. He is on fire here in the second period after going scoreless in the first.
And KG, I know you've got to run, but as always, you've always got a home here. Thanks for stopping by. Please come back.
Man, K-Hall, man, thank you. Thank 2K, man. I appreciate y'all bringing me through here, man. Anytime y'all need the guard, y'all let me know, man.
The best, Kevin Garnett. And, Steve, one of the things that really stands out about Kevin Garnett, at least to me, is the emotion, the enjoyment, the passion, all of it he brings to the discussion every time we're with him. Just a fun guy to have around.
Boy, he is. I mean, he's one of those guys. He's high energy when he plays, but he's one of those guys off the floor. He brings that same type of passion and energy. He's KG. His motor is always on.
Teague, he's checked in for Rose. Left side, Towns. Good work defensively by Gasol.
He can't find his mojo. Tough quarter for him scoring the basketball.
White dishes to Aldridge. There's 48 seconds left in the first half of the game. Passes it to DeRozan. Over Wiggins. And another basket for San Antonio.
DeMar DeRozan's bread and butter. He has a great feel from the mid-range.
Teague against White. Teague kicks to Towns. And Gasol sends it back.
And for his career among active players, Pau Gasol top 3 in block shots.
DeMar DeRozan on the wing. And the pass to White. Jacks up a 3. And again, it's San Antonio with a 3.
And what it looks like now, guys, their confidence is growing, and so is this lead.
But they can't just sit back and enjoy it. They need to keep up the momentum.
And so it's San Antonio, bringing the quarter to a close with a 7-point lead. They're feeling very confident, shooting the ball with great efficiency and dictating the pace. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thank you, Kevin. Carl, they made a run there at the end. How did that happen?
We didn't do a good job closing the half. We got to contain them from not making shots. We just got to do a better job.
We'll see if you can do that. Thanks, Carl. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David, for that interview, and we'll see you back here after the break for third quarter basketball.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hi again, everyone. I'm Ernie Johnson, sitting alongside the Diesel and the Jet. Welcome to the halftime show on 2K Sports. A pretty close game for the Spurs throughout the first quarter. They only had a couple rough stretches, and as the first period came to a close, they had a 4-point deficit. They were a finely tuned unit in the second quarter, easily outscoring their counterparts and getting in front by 7 points at the end of the half. And Shaq, what are your thoughts on how San Antonio played?
In simple truth, they just got hot. Didn't matter what the defense was doing, Ernie. They were definitely able to rise above it. Even the tough shots. Did you see that one shot? I don't know how they even went down. They can carry this over to the second half. It's going to be hard to beat them, boy. Woo-wee.
Kenny, let's get your insight on the Timberwolves.
They need to make major adjustments on the offense. Whatever their game plan was going into this game, scrap it. It's not been effective. The shots they were taking were not good shots. They need to find a way to spring guys open where they can shoot a better percentage.
And that'll do it for our halftime report. Stay tuned for the second half. About to get underway.
The buildings of downtown Minneapolis all lit up on this lovely evening. Welcome back, everyone, to the Twin Cities. And happy you could join us. We've got 2 quarters left to go in regulation. A fantastic game from DeMar DeRozan so far.
And let's see what the defense counters with to try and control him here in the second half.
Well, you like to run more doubles at him, but the risk there is opens up things for everybody else.
Steve, you were kind of a positionless player. When you played 6'8", highly skilled, talk about some of the guys who really fit that bill in today's game.
I think guys like LeBron James, Kawhi Leonard, Jason Tatum does a fantastic job, Ben Simmons, Jaylen Brown, he's done a nice job, Gordon Hayward. Those are the guys that are 6'8", 6'7", can do a lot of different things at that position. One of the best also at that position, Andre Iguodala, to be able to switch out on offense and also play different positions on the offensive end.
Excellent list. Gibson plays the 4 with Towns in the middle. Teague is at the point with Wiggins at the 2. And it's Covington in at the 3, the small forward. So that's who Tom Thibodeau starts the second half with. The first free throw is good.
And Andrew Wiggins, the number 1 overall pick back in 14. Great bloodlines, the son of pro athletes. The game just seems to come easy to him.
and so he's able to get one of two. You know, Greg, the game comes so easy to Wiggins, but some say he needs to be more assertive, more aggressive. Do you see that?
I mean, high expectations for a player that was taken first overall. The length and athleticism should enable him to impact the game in so many ways, but his motor doesn't always rev high enough to take advantage.
T kicks to Towns. Over Gasol. That one's good. The San Antonio lead is cut down now to just 6 on the basket from Towns.
Really well done there. Just confident and composed, never in a hurry.
Outside DeRozan. And Robert Covington picks up the foul. That is his first foul of the game. Teague against White. Back to DeRozan. 5 on the clock. Rebounded by the Timberwolves. Towns has got his 5th rebound right now in the game. Covington against Gay. T kicks to Gibson. Back to T. Outside Gibson. And a wide open look here for Wiggins. That is good, and the Spurs lead is cut down now to just 4 in the basket from Karl Anthony Towns.
And from day one, Towns has been one of the NBA's top post players. A versatile, well-rounded game on the low block. It doesn't hurt that he can step outside and knock down the jumper either.
Here's Aldridge. And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact. Steve, when we talk about signature shots in the NBA, what about Aldridge's fadeaway jumper?
Usually starts with him backing down the defender. He turns, faces up, transfers weight from all the way forward to all the way back. Add in the high release point, virtually unblockable.
And that one falls for LaMarcus Aldridge. And many thought LaMarcus Aldridge was on a downswing in his career, but boy, were they wrong.
Aldridge silenced a lot of critics with his play last season. I mean, in a league that has very few great low-post players, he demonstrated he's still one of the best. Has so many moves and tricks in his game, and when he gets the ball down low, the defense really has very little to do with it.
And so LaMarcus Aldridge nails them both.
It's a luxury to have a big man who can shoot free throws this way.
Jones kicks to Zhang. Wiggins outside. Here's Towns. Makes it off the glass. Towns has got 8 points.
And that's 3 out of 4 now coming out of the break. The offense playing with a purpose.
Now here's Gay. Defense is right there. Nails the baby hook. And the Spurs lead by 6.
I like how he absorbed contact. Rudy Gay with the body control to finish through it.
Jones kicks to Towns. Wiggins outside. Offensive rebound. Towns with the bucket. Towns has got 8 points in the quarter.
He really looks composed shooting the ball this half. Much more consistent, hitting a much higher percentage.
San Antonio calls timeout.
And Karl Anthony Towns, one of the most prolific three-point shooters in the league, at least top 3 amongst all 7-footers, and his three-point percentage elite as well, over 40%.
Rose, he's checked in for Minnesota. And San Antonio with the change here too. Davis Bertans checks in for LaMarcus Aldridge. It's stolen by Jones. Walker against Rose. Outside, Jones. Pass to Nunley. Trying to find Towns. Gets it to him. Shoots over Pirtle. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. That one on Jakob Pirtle. And Towns said he'd emulate Kevin Durant as a kid playing on the perimeter at Kentucky. Cal made him play inside, work in the post, and use his size.
So going back to his roots with his three-point shooting, the association experiencing a three-point renaissance, and he really does fit the mold.
Shooting 2.
And the first one at the line is good. Steve, when you look back at your career, which years do you remember playing your best brand of basketball?
You know, I think obviously when you're younger, you feel like you have more of an impact with your skill level to go along with your athleticism. I think my best run was about a 5 or 6 year run when I was playing with the Atlanta Hawks and the Portland Trailblazers. Those two teams, I think I had my best run. This is where he feels 100% comfortable taking all the free points he can get.
Left side, Walker. He kicks to Bellinelli. The shot's good on the assist by Walker. Bellinelli's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. Outside, Towns. To the middle. Deflects the pass. Here's Walker, and finished off by Walker.
Whoa, quick hands on the steal and then just mad hops on the slam.
Great sequence for them defensively and offensively.
Terrific defensive instincts to come away with that one, and he showed no hesitation in how he completed that transition opportunity.
They are just killing him on the interior.
1:58 left in the third quarter. Down low, here's Forbes, and the rejection by Towns.
And his foot movement is what makes Towns such a terrific shot blocker. He moves so well and can defend just about any position on the floor.
Count it. 1:36 left to play here in the third. And Towns throws it down.
And no doubt they'd love to see him get a lot more of those opportunities.
And that deficit will go away quickly if he does, Greg. Walker finds Bellinelli. Walker surveying the floor. Shot clock at 6. Here's Forbes. And the Spurs scoring again.
It looked like the defense just flat out froze out there. Clear breakdown in communication to allow that easy bucket.
Timeout called, first of the game for Minnesota.
And for the Spurs, they're still finding ways to improve the roster, but you can never really replace a Tim Duncan.
A different look now for San Antonio. DeMar DeRozan comes in for Walker. And Derek White subbed in for Bryn Forbes. Here's Chang. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him. Outside Rose. To the paint. And Chang kicks to Covington. Shot clock at 5. The Timberwolves need to get a shot off here. From deep, Rose. Bertans grabs the board. Bertans got his 5th rebound right now in the game.
A slight advantage for them in the rebound department, but that oftentimes is all it takes.
Well, we're seeing the defense make adjustments, but DeRozan is making great reads, finding ways to counter.
And a tremendous Unleash Chaos replay coming to you courtesy of Under Armour Hover Hammer. That one drops for him. Rose has got 4 this quarter.
And after an abysmal first half from the field. The shots now starting to fall.
Teague against White. Kicks it to DeRozan. Over Rose. And another basket for San Antonio.
Ever since his days at USC, DeRozan has been a natural on offense.
And so it's the San Antonio Spurs in control with the 9-point lead to end the quarter. And it's been their rugged defense setting the tone. Back to the action after this word. And let's take now this moment to bring up our State Farm assist of the game.
Yeah, a terrific, unselfish play right here. Set up his teammate, and how about the setup this way?
At his position, traditionally, his job is to shoot the basketball. Give him credit for keeping his eyes up and just taking what the defense allows.
And this is it. Glad to have you along for this fourth and final quarter. Spurs leading by 9. On the floor for San Antonio starting the fourth quarter. DeRozan and Gay, the wings. Inside, it's the veterans, Aldridge and Gasol. And it's White in at the point guard position. That pushes it to double digits. 8 points for LaMarcus Aldridge.
It's fine to extend your defense to try and create turnovers, but guys have to help each other.
That's been a problem for them all game. Teamwork is something you just can't turn on and off.
A three-pointer, Wiggins. San Antonio with the rebound.
It's a +5 advantage for them in rebounding after that one.
Bounce pass, Gay. Aldridge kicks to Gasol. Spurs passing it around. Inside, Covington with the steal. Pass to Tolliver. Now Gibson. And the basket is good, and he's got a chance here for one more at the line.
And guys, I like what they're doing here in the second half. Getting a lot of production in the paint and still trailing, but starting to show some grit down low.
And, Greg, what's not to like about Taj Gibson?
I mean, he's a hard worker defensively, finishes well inside, he's got the mid-range shooting touch. But what I like most, really, his unselfishness. He started, came off the bench, no complaints. This is a guy that just wants to win.
On the free throw, no good.
You know, throughout his career, Taj Gibson has proven to be a valuable role player. Pretty good on both ends of the floor. Can do a little bit of everything.
Covington against Gay. Covington passes to Gibson. Outside Teague. 6 on the shot clock. Bucket is good.
How about the determination of Gibson? No one is going to stop him when he skies up.
Spurs leading by 7. And White kicks to DeRozan. Outside White. Gay up top. A 3-ball. Gets the 3-pointer to fall.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
Minnesota calls timeout. You gotta like what DeMar DeRozan has done in this game.
Now, he is on a major roll today. This timeout was desperately needed. They've got to come up with a new game plan designed to shut him down.
Towns, he's checked in for Anthony Tolliver. And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to David Aldridge.
Hey, Kevin. Well, during the break, I heard Tom Thibodeau as he talked with the team. And he was emphatic. He said, we are not going to win this game playing this way, fellas. You've got to step it up. You've got to get aggressive. And you've got to battle to get back in this thing. See if that pep talk got him going, guys.
Here's Towns. Another miss by Minnesota.
And they've got a big lead, not just on the scoreboard, but really in the rebounding numbers as well.
Teague against White. And DeRozan kicks to Gasol. Outside, White. Here's Aldridge. The shot, no good. Great D that time from Gibson. Outside Teague. Towns against Gasol. That one's good. The San Antonio lead is cut down to just 8 points with the bucket from Karl Anthony Towns. San Antonio's gone 5 of 8 from three-point land. 15 points and a deep ball for them tonight. And White gets to Gasol. Back to White. Fires the three. Andrew Wiggins grabs the board. And so it's Wiggins with it. He'll bring it up for the Minnesota Timberwolves. They've only given up 5 points here in the fourth quarter. Towns. And it's sent back by Aldridge.
The length and anticipation of Aldridge. A tough combo to score against.
And it's DeRozan missing. Timberwolves trail by 8. Right wing. Teague against White. Here's Towns. Another miss by Towns.
And that was an easy one there. Just a missed opportunity.
If you give it to him, he'll take that shot every time down the floor. I'm sure he's kicking himself.
DeRozan against Wiggins. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle and 2 shots coming up.
This is no surprise. With his athleticism, DeRozan, one of the league's best at getting to the line.
The first one, and that will put them up by 9.
The 9th pick in 2009, DeRozan was part of a great draft class. Griffin, Harden, and Curry all included.
Rose is checked in for Minnesota. And San Antonio with the change here too. Jakob Poeltl's checked in for Pau Gasol. DeMar DeRozan hits them both. We've got 1:55 left in the fourth quarter. Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
Towns dishes to Gibson. Good, and the assist goes to Towns. That's now 8 points for Taj Gibson.
His teammate was wide open there. Definitely the right choice to pass it out and let him take the shot.
White the pass to DeRozan. Over Wiggins. DeRozan's shot is good. And the Spurs lead by 10.
Yeah, the onslaught continues. He's been unstoppable now for a couple of nights.
The momentum is building, scoring in a bunch of ways. That's why his number keeps getting called.
And the Timberwolves call time here. They're down by 10. 1:30 left in the game. And now let's present our Jordan Player of the Game, DeMar DeRozan.
Yeah, and his percentage from the field tonight, just amazing. He hadn't just been gunning. He's been picking his spots, and you need that kind of patience and discipline to shoot as well as he has.
He silenced this crowd with an unreal display. His ability to drown out the noise and the hostility of an opposing crowd is pretty special. Rose lays it up and in off the pretty assist.
Derek is just exceptional in the paint. A gifted scorer amongst the trees.
San Antonio leading by 8. Outside DeRozan from 12 feet out. Jump shot is good. DeRozan's got 10 points here in the second half.
And each bucket at this point feels like a backbreaker.
Showing no mercy. Double-digit lead and still putting it on it.
And a bit of a battle here for the ball. The official signals a jump ball here. And the Timberwolves with possession here. And the call will be against LaMarcus Aldridge. That'll be his second foul of the game. And 1:01 left to play in the final quarter. Rose against DeRozan. Just 5 on the clock.
Gotta love the way Pirtle defended that shot, closing out on shooters and making them think twice.
White with it. Passes it to Pirtle. To the inside. It's stolen by Rose. White against Covington. And the pass to Gibson. And they call the foul, so he's got the and one chance here to make it a three-point play.
That's the muscle Gibson has, just concentrating on his shot despite the D roughing him up.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. One shot.
.30 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Pass to Forbes to the inside. Here's Pertinis, and he makes the bucket, gets the whistle, and now a three-point play chance here for him.
And how much longer are they going to keep that foot on the accelerator?
Well, this is less about winning the game now and more about making a bold statement.
One shot, mind the lanes.
And that's the knockout blow right there, guys. Those free throws should put this one away.
And the Timberwolves call time here. They're trailing by 10. 23 seconds left to play in the final quarter. .23 seconds left in the game. Rose passes to Nunley. Jones for three. Bangs home the trifecta. 16 seconds left in the fourth. Here is Forbes, defended by Jones. And so it's San Antonio with the win. This was a hard-fought, well-earned victory for him, Greg. They really had to work for this win.
That's a good point. I mean, weaker teams might have buckled at the end with the crowd amped up, everyone in the building kind of rooting against you, but they stood tall and pulled it out.
Well said. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Kevin, thank you. DeMar, this team is playing well together. How are you encouraging and fostering that sense of all of you being together and playing well?
We're just making everybody comfortable. Making each and everybody on this team comfortable. If it's jump shots, if it's attacking the basket, even if it's on the defensive end, we're just giving each other confidence every time we practice.
And it sure looks like it out there tonight, DeMar. Thanks a lot. Kevin, back to you.
All right, David, great job. Thanks so much. And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For Steve Smith, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for being with us. And we'll see you next time